We have got to get a message to somebody who has the power to end the AIDS epidemic. And the message is, you can stand up in front of the next 100,000 person gathering and show them how to kill the virus. And they will. In 15 minutes, you'll have 99,762 people in the world who can kill the virus and who care about doing something about HIV. That's the message. But it has to be somebody who can do that. It can't be somebody who can put up another YouTube movie like me. It has to be somebody who can actually, go, in front of those people. Who has the power, the authority, whatever, who's in charge. It has to be one of the people in charge of ending the epidemic. We have to get a message to somebody like that. And so, and see, you're probably not anybody who can deliver that message, and neither am I. So here we sit with the cure for with the cure for AIDS. But of course, this is ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, right? I mean, here's something. AIDS can't be cured. There is no cure for HIV. People don't do this. People don't do what you hear the people on the Cure Show doing. It's not possible that they're doing that. And I failed too. I failed to get the message to anybody who could make this happen. Because I knew this. I knew this when I saw Bill Pelly kill hepatitis B. That was 1995, early 96, winter of 96, I guess. That was the turning point of my life. Bill called me up. He had just gotten his diagnosis from his doctor, had his test, got his test results back. And he called me and told me he had hepatitis B. I was probably more scared than he was. And he was terrified. That's why he called me. He was terrified. But he knew I'd cured my herpes. And he may have done the math. See, Bill might have been somebody who did the math and said, well, if you can kill herpes, maybe you can kill hepatitis B. So I said, come on right over, and we worked out a protocol, and 10 days later when he went back to the doctor to get his treatment regimen and got retested, it was negative. He had no hepatitis B. So, boom! That was, see, for me, curing my herpes didn't do it. It wasn't like, I didn't say, oh, I cured my herpes so I can stop HIV. I cured my herpes in 1993. Hi, I'm Bayard. I was Cure Zero in the CureDrive, by the way. I reported my herpes cures, my 2 paltry herpes cures. I was the first person to report cures in the CureDrive 11 years after I killed the virus in 1994, that was when we started the CureDrive poll. And you can see we're up to whatever it is, 53,000 cures now or something. You see, but this can't be. And this is why they can't hear it. Because we know people, and we've told people, and the thing that now amazes me is how many people do get it. But it's never been anybody with the power to stop the epidemic. It's just that, you know, nobody with the power to stop the epidemic has ever let this in when they were told. And it's easy to get old and stop caring. And the dead get forgotten. Bob Zemsky, I talked to him a couple of days before he died. That was in the 80s. That was way before I knew that I could kill HIV or any other virus. And he'd given every penny to AIDS research. Every penny of his disability that he got, whatever he had, he willed the rest of it. And I made a promise when I was talking to him. Not out loud, but in my mind I made him a promise that I'd carry it on because I knew he'd die in a few days. But when I remembered Bob later, it wasn't like I wasn't remembering my promise. I was remembering how cute he was. I was remembering how funny he was. I was remembering him in his photo. We used to do seminars, and I had a company. I founded a company that did seminars, and one of them was called Emptying Relationship of Content. We used volunteers to teach them. And Bob, there were these three teachers. Zembob was one, and then there was this tall, handsome district attorney in the New York legal system, and a fashion model who was also really tall, you know. And then there was Bob, who was kind of short, you know. The three of them together they were so cute. That thing was sold out. People knew they were teaching it. It was sold out. Everybody wanted to support them. And the model and the DA, they ended up getting married. You know, on these YouTube movies, I can only talk for 10 minutes. So I'm going to have to make another movie after this, you know, to continue on. But I have a couple more things to say first. No, it's totally impossible. So if you were Ashley Judd's college roommate and you phone her and tell her, "Hey, Ashley, I got the cure for AIDS," and she says, "Hey, Joni, I haven't heard from you in so long. How are you? And what else have you been doing besides this cure for AIDS thing? What are you into now? God, I've been so busy." You know. And if you just give up, I don't blame you. You know, a lot of us just don't have the will to get the message across. We might be able to talk to somebody, you know, but we just don't have the will to, like, slap them across the face or do whatever you have to do, you know, pee on them, you know, to get them to hear you. You know, we just can't, we don't have the, you know, we can't wake them up. You know, some of us just, you know, we could, but we haven't got the guts to make them wake up. Ashley, listen, I'm going to be there. It'll take me about 4 hours to drive there. I'm leaving now. Stay there. You know, we don't want to drive the 4 hours. We're just not, you know. Maybe there was a time when we would have, but we get old and we stop caring. You know, maybe there's people who are going to hear this, they'll say, "Boy, if this was back in the 80s, man, I would have been out in the street with this." But now, everybody's okay. We're all on the cocktail, you know, who cares? God. You know, the thing that's really a miracle is how I stand in the left turn lane by the stoplight and hand bumper stickers to people, and most of them pretend I don't exist. But then so many of them take a bumper sticker. You know what? Let me tell you. I'll tell you how to do this, okay? This is how it always goes with a group. And when I tell you how it goes with a group, you can follow along and see if you start doing it. That I got to do in the next movie, because now I'm at 10 minutes.